I witnessed a murder with my own eyes. Downstairs, a man raised a wooden club and, blow after blow, beat a woman to death. My legs went weak with fear. I crouched down in a panic and accidentally knocked over a flower pot. The sound in the night made my scalp prickle. The man's movements stopped instantly. He snapped his head up and stared straight toward my direction. The next second, a rock flew up and smashed my balcony glass to pieces. In that moment, my whole body went rigid. He saw me. I pressed myself against the wall, slipped behind the curtain, and held my breath as I peered outside. But the killer who had been standing downstairs was gone. Where did he go? Had he slipped into this building? The thought made me swallow hard. All night I stayed glued to the peephole, watching the hallway, my palms slick with cold sweat around the handle of a fruit knife. Thankfully, nothing happened before dawn. Soon, police tape went up downstairs. I blended into the crowd, watching officers seal off the scene. People around me cursed the murderer for being brutal, saying the girl was pitiful. That was when I saw a man in black wearing a baseball cap standing in the crowd, motionless, staring at the body. That silhouette was almost exactly like the killer from last night. My mind buzzed. A lot of killers return to the scene to admire their work. Could he be one of them? Fear crawled up my spine again. I knew if I shouted right then, the police ahead could grab him immediately, but I didn't dare. I was too afraid. So I stood there without moving until he quietly slipped away. It became the decision I regretted most. The police began going door to door, questioning residents. I didn't want trouble and planned to leave, but just then, a man with a strange expression suddenly blocked my way. It was my neighbor, Jack. Last night, you saw it too, didn't you? I understood instantly. He was a witness too. But I still played dumb, pretended I didn't know what he meant, and hurried off. That night, after work, I went home. Passing the crime scene, it had already been cleaned up, but my scalp still tingled. I quickened my pace and slipped into the elevator lobby. Just as the doors were about to close, a hand shot in. I stumbled back 2 steps, scared out of my mind, my heart nearly stopping. Sorry, running out of time. It was a delivery guy, holding a bag of food. He looked normal enough, but his eyes, they gave me a familiarity I couldn't explain. The elevator rose slowly. When we reached the 3rd floor, I suddenly realized something. He hadn't pressed any button. The 4th floor arrived. The doors opened inch by inch. My legs felt like they were filled with lead. I couldn't move. I couldn't take a single step. Then he reminded me softly, "Your floor's here," and his hand slowly reached forward. I was so terrified I was about to scream, but he only pressed 5, then withdrew his hand, as if nothing had happened. I forced myself to stay calm and stepped out. Only when the doors fully closed did I collapse onto the floor like a puppet with its strings cut, gasping for air. The next day, the sirens wailed again. My neighbor Jack, the one who spoke to me yesterday, had been killed. The murderer had disguised himself as a delivery man and knocked on his door. A chill ran from my feet to the top of my head. He was silencing witnesses. Would I be next? My heart hammered so hard it felt like it would burst. I curled under my blanket, wrapped tight, yet still felt the cold seeping inch by inch into my bones. It was terrifying. Then the phone rang at the worst possible moment. So tense, my hand slipped, and the phone dropped onto the floor. As I bent down to pick it up, fear surged through my veins and straight into my brain. In the mirrored back of the phone, a blurry face appeared. That face was hiding under my bed.